Welcome back. Coming from us to you. Today is Wednesday, May 17th. What episode is this? Like
Seven.
Seventh episode. We've
Lucky
got
number 7.
Got a new guest for you guys on the pod today. Thank you, Logan McHugh.
Thank you.
Or whom I call Joey, for coming on today.
Hell yeah, dude. Last minute too. You canceled on your guild. We'll get into it later.
We'll clarify later. It wasn't quite a cancellation, but I'm happy to be here.
I love guild drama.
Happy to be on the pod.
Thanks for coming.
Logan is a dear friend of ours. Super stoked to have him on. How's it going, man?
It's good, dude. I wasn't expecting to record a podcast today, but here we are.
We like to hit our guests with like a quick low blow, get them excited, and then just put them in the moment. They don't really know what they're going to expect. So,
all right, here we go.
You're along for the ride. Logan's actually my neighbor. For those watching and who aren't audio only, this is a bit of a new setting for you guys, but same building as the library. But yeah, Logan lives honestly like 8 doors.
Yeah, like a block away.
To the west of us. So nice to keep the pod in the neighborhood. Really stoked to have him on.
Really good excuse to be here for the first time.
Yeah.
So I got some making up to do for that, considering I live a block away. But
do what you can. You're a busy guy.
Busy guy.
Sadly, as close as we live, this is the first time you've been to my apartment.
Yeah, it's sad.
We live busy lives, though. We understand how it can be.
Yep.
But, you know, when the podcast calls, Logan comes.
Yep, I'm coming.
At the time of this recording, we're sitting at halftime. Celtics Heat, game 1. Celtics are up, I want to say, a nice 10-point band at half. I'm not exactly sure.
Who are the favorites?
It was tip-off. It was 8.5 Celtics today.
Wow. Okay.
So we don't have a lot of sports prepared for the cast today. We're going to go on to some extracurricular topics.
It's a fun episode, guys.
Yeah, super stoked for the topics and what we've got in mind today. I kind of want to just jump in. I didn't really relay this to the producer, but
I'll be the producer.
I went to the dentist today, fellas.
Ooh, dentist story.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I had to go. I mean, I went today, and I just got to say, I hate the dentist. Am I the only one in the room?
You are not.
I always liked it because they were a bunch of hot
mommies
cleaning my teeth, and I was like a little pubescent like 13-year-old kid, and I always looked forward to it. Her name is Angie.
Horny as hell.
Just not knowing what to do. It's so loud in my head. I'm just so confused by all these hormones, and there's drills going off in my mouth. But I know they smell good, so I liked it. I admittedly have not gone to the dentist in like 5 years, though.
Yeah,
so.
I'm right there with you. Yes.
I picked up on something. I liked it. I was like, well, you don't go anymore?
Yeah, that's probably. I can't remember how bad it was, but they haven't people. I would always gag a lot.
Yeah, dude, I'm
I
not
was
a fan.
big gagger.
I am not a fan.
That
dude.
happens.
You have to forcibly keep your mouth open for 30 minutes at a time. Some of the hygienists are just not gentle.
They get aggressive.
Yeah, dude.
They get really aggressive.
You know, they floss your teeth.
Oh yeah.
They put that little like circular thing on, and they clean your teeth. It's like the main cleaning.
Oh yeah.
And they're just like yanking your mouth around. It's not a good experience, and I've never ever liked the dentist personally.
And they always have the audacity after like rampaging your mouth to say, "Oh, you have a little bit of bleeding." Like, yeah, no shit.
No, it'll be fine. It looks like you're a vampire post meal right now, but it'll be fine. It's okay.
I've gotten that. I've been like kind of painfully getting my teeth flossed, right? And at the end of it, the dentist or the hygienist is like, "So do you floss often?" And honestly, because you're bleeding, it's like this
the worst
is
it's like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Like clearly I don't, because there's blood everywhere right now. It looks like a crime scene.
I do though. That was the thing. So I kind of cheat with it, like the floss picks.
Yeah.
So I use those about every 3 days.
You got me on those, but I started buying those.
Yeah, I don't traditionally floss with the real floss, but I use those picks.
Yeah.
Right?
Does anyone? Is that like
some people definitely?
I mean, maybe
but daily
my great grandparents.
Flossing feels like a big game of just cat and mouse.
That's why I use the picks. You got to use those floss picks. Dude.
Yeah.
But so anyway, she's shredding my mouth, and afterwards she's like, "Yeah, you don't floss that often, huh?" And I'm like, "Well, I use the floss picks like twice a week maybe
Boom.
more.
Yeah.
And she was actually like challenging me. She was like, are you, I forget how it went down, but she was like really not believing that I did that. She was like, are you sure? Like,
Really?
I was like, seriously?
Yeah,
She's probably used to a bunch of bullshitters though.
But like,
Because
what-
that would probably be me. I'd be like, oh yeah, I
True.
floss all the time.
Who is she though? The truth police? Like, why is she all over people? Like, clean my teeth. Stop
Yeah.
making me feel horrible. That's why I won't go back, because I know I'm gonna get lit up when I go.
See, I'm just nervous
Exactly.
about the sheer number of cavities I might have.
I
Yeah.
know. I have like a new stinging pain every time I eat ice cream and don't brush my teeth before.
I feel like I'm gonna walk out of there and they're gonna say I have more cavities than teeth or something,
Yeah,
and that's
dude.
it's gonna be tough.
and I have to
fully
believe them
agree.
at that point, because I feel like sometimes they're like, oh, you have a bunch of cavities. Like Kate went to the dentist last week, and they literally told her, new dentist, yeah, you have some like minor cavities, but I'm not going to charge you to fill them. When like any other dentist would be like, yo, lighten you up.
I haven't
I'm
heard
getting
that
this money.
before.
A minor
I know,
cavity.
which is like, that's an honorable person. It's hard to find an honorable dentist. I'm
Well,
not an
is that a trick on like, ooh, this one's on the house, so that they
Yes.
stay a patient, and then we'll hit you with like, oh, you need a crown later on.
The
Maybe
annual
in the long
checkups
game.
are going to be really expensive now because
Yeah.
they got her hook, line, and sinker.
That
So
is true.
That is
true.
so. That's one big thing, I think, with the dentist specifically of the medical profession field. Why people are so like hatred toward the dentist is because like it's so specialized. You don't really know if you're being
Oh,
told
sure.
what's true or what's not. Or like, I feel like dentists are only right 80% of the time, right? Like we're relying on x-rays, a little bit of intuition.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So like it always makes me skeptical to take the treatment advice from the dentist. And I think that's where some of my like lifelong scaredness has come from.
Resentment.
Resentment.
Strong resentment. Yeah.
But honestly, my true detestation of the dentist stems from the fact that I'm a baby when it comes to like repairing or any type of procedure in my mouth. Like I would honestly rather break a few minor bones than have a major operation in my mouth.
Did you have braces?
I did.
Because I would argue the orthodontist may be worse.
It wasn't fun. I didn't like it.
yeah.
But like if I could break a pinky finger or like a small 8-week recovery on a tiny hairline fractured wrist,
Sure.
I would take that over like 3 cavities any day of the week.
They don't
Yeah,
even
but if
do
you
anything for
but
your
if you
cavities,
don't
though.
go to the dentist, then
then
you
you're un-
never have cavities.
That's
Facts.
It's like Schrodinger's cavities.
That's true.
it is.
If you don't know they're there, then they don't exist. So I think
right there with you.
that's the 400 IQ play right there.
Exactly. And I parlay that into seeing a general physician, and what else is there? Eye doc, optometrist.
All of the things that we should be doing as human beings,
All
we
of
have to
them.
find an argument against.
I
That's
always
great.
I always rationalize it like fuck it, like I don't know. I can't handle it. And 1-800 Contacts does this thing where it's like you need to have an up-to-date prescription, but we'll sell you this over-the-phone bullshit test for $10 and it's like legal. It's a huge loophole. But like you're supposed to put your phone up on a wall and like step back 10 feet and read off the letters. Like, okay, I'm just reading it off
Who's
my phone.
validating that? Yeah.
That's exactly. So it supposedly goes through like an actual licensed optometrist, but I mean that dude's gotta be raking in it just all day.
He
pass,
just clicks
pass,
the
pass.
box. He's like, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. That's all he needs.
Dude, funny you brought that up.
Eye doctors.
I'm feverishly looking online and I can't find anything. At my old gig, I had a customer who was a competitor of 1-800 Contacts, excuse me.
Yeah.
It was basically an online prescription contact company.
I wonder if they got bought by.
So they cut a lot of corners with like health regulations.
Okay.
And they ended up getting like, it's a private company. It's not a public company. They got hit with like something between like, it was over 300 million.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
huge. And they, I don't-
Penalty? 300 million pounds. Oh, wow.
yeah, and I don't know the exact specifics, but they had bypassed some health regulation where they were prescribing contacts for consumers without going through the proper diagnosis. And they had been doing it
Shit.
for a long time. And you had kind of just mentioned something about
Yeah.
that. It was very interesting.
That happens though. It has to, like, everyone has to do it. It's just a matter of do they get caught? or
Right.
not?
And then they create regulations around
Right.
it. And then,
Yeah.
that's just kind of how the world goes.
Yeah, it's usually that's where the new rules come from. Is like
Drunk driving, like people would drink and drive all the time, and then people started driving
Yeah,
blacked out.
screw
They're like,
it, right.
maybe we shouldn't let
That's
this happen.
dumb. Yeah.
yeah, like the consequence is what creates the new rule.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very reactive. Government in general is just reactive. We're
As
pretty-
most businesses and
Yeah.
brands and corporations are, right? It's
Right.
like, well, it'll be fine as long as no one cares. Oh,
Right.
people care. Let's change something.
I mean, like getting into like corruption and stuff, the whole VW thing, like where they were faking their emissions
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Like it would sense if they were being tested and it would change its emissions. They got penalized like I'm gonna butcher this, like 5% of what the revenue they made on it. They made like billions of dollars and I think they made $8 billion and they got penalized $2 billion.
Sometimes it's better to do it
Yeah.
and make more money
Yes.
and then pay the penalties.
Why would you? I mean, everybody's happy there. Shareholders are happy.
It's like a
everybody
handshake
got paid.
deal with the government or whatever like
Basically.
agency is in a certain.
Yeah, I was just
That's for
That's all it is,
forgiveness,
Pat.
not for
So
permission.
I just pointed at Pat. We've got a special guest on set, half producer, half guest.
Show
Don't-
them your hand. Show them your ethnicity.
White. that is a long-standing, what I'm just going to coin as in my profession in sales. Just a great statement is, don't ask questions, ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we would come across situations in multiple sales jobs where it's like,
Oh, yeah.
are we allowed to do this? Are we allowed to say this to the customer? Are we allowed to blah, blah, blah? It's like, well, if you think you might be right, it's like, close the sale and then ask for
Yeah.
forgiveness later.
Sure.
But while you're being ethical, of course.
Yeah.
That's how most companies operate, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why we're seeing so much of that stuff is because now people are finding things out and then there's action taken against it and things. It's like statements, right? It's like they're like, oh, like, okay, yeah, we would have kept doing it, but because you caught us, we're going to do this. But then they move on. There's the South Park episode
Which one?
of the BP oil spill. Do you guys remember that one?
Fuck. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I've
So
seen it.
the BP oil spill, obviously massive incident, right?
Yeah.
Brought a lot of attention and media drawn to it. And South Park made an episode where BP's apology was like the CEO of BP, and in classic South Park fashion, right? And he's like laying in front of like a beach, or like he's like petting his dog, and he's like, "We're sorry.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
We're really sorry." Like that's all it is. They do one thing to say that they're sorry, make it seem like they're sorry, and then they just move on.
Yeah.
That's the way
yeah.
it goes.
Yeah. I remember one time I was driving down the street right after the BP oil spill. And yeah, we were driving at that point, right?
I have no idea when it happened.
I just
pretty
looked it
I
up.
couldn't tell
What
you.
year was it? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so I just looked it up.
Or maybe it was sometime after. I saw a BP and then across the street.
When was it?
It's surprising. Pretty old.
2010.
10.
Okay.
All right.
I-
we were driving.
Yeah, we were sophomores
Ju-
in college, right?
probably
No,
like permanent.
no, no,
Sophomores
wait,
in college.
Wait.
11.
I'm off fight.
11. We started driving in like 2011. If you were 16.
Okay.
as a-
16.
as a
So before.
sophomore.
Before.
So I lied, but I remember like actively not using BP one time, and then I'm like, fuck it, dude. British Petroleum bangs. I gotta throw it in my vehicle.
Yeah.
Do you know what caused the BP oil spill?
I thought it was an explosion of some kind.
It was a
Did not.
wellhead blowout.
Oh, of course.
How could I forget?
Oh, my apologies.
How could I fucking forget?
It's been quite some time since I was versed in the ways of an oil rig.
But I feel like there's a story around it. They investigated it, and there was like, of course, always like some kind of just like not arrogance, but just
Negligence?
Oh, it's negligence.
It's always
Yeah.
gross negligence.
There's
I remember-
always that person that knows,
right.
right? But
right.
then, and that's the issue.
Yeah, like remember the fucking in Florida when that high rise just fucking collapsed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they went through and they were like, yeah, this totally should not have been approved. Like something should have happened structurally to this place. It
You
was
know-
caught months before.
Like super off topic, but on topic. Like being able to pinpoint.
We're already off topic. Randall. It's okay.
pinpointing how like the Titanic went down, pinpointing what caused the BP oil spill, pinpointing what did you just mention?
The Florida.
Yeah, pinpointing how that building structure collapsed. It's kind of crazy that like when we hear these mega stories, we always find like the exact answer. Usually,
Oh, sure.
It's kind of crazy how like advanced, yeah, like and those have like black boxes built into planes, so that makes a little more sense. But like, it's crazy how exact we can be these days with like, it's only going to get better and better.
If only we had that for JFK.
Yeah.
In his assassination.
Or they know and they're not telling us.
Dude, it actually is crazy that. So I found this out today. With regards to the JFK assassination, like by law, you have to declassify stuff after so many years, and twice a member of it was time to be declassified, and a member of the CIA went and basically went against the law and didn't let it happen twice in the past 20 years, which is whatever. Who knows? But they're trying pretty hard to make us they're acting suspicious. I don't know. I don't want to go too deep. I don't know.
We can't go full JFK right now.
Yeah, we can't go full
JFK. If we go full JFK, what's the demographic shift on that all of a sudden?
I mean, we're already.
Are we there?
Bobby Kennedy Jr. is running.
That's true. We're having him on next week. Yeah.
Wait,
Bobby Kennedy Jr.
Whoa!
He just went on Russell.
politically
The reason why I
behind.
brought it up is he just went on Russell Brand's podcast and went in depth over the assassination of his father
who is
and his
Russell
uncle.
Brand?
Russell Brand
I'm
used
kidding,
to be.
I'm
Oh, okay. He's chill. I like him.
You sound like you're from London.
But actually, mate, what is the relation between the two Kennedys?
He got shot in the head, isn't it?
In it, bruv.
Sorry, I cut you off. What is the actual relation to the politician running?
He's the son of JFK and the nephew of Jack.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
What is he running
and they both
for?
got picked off. Am I?
Isn't JFK the uncle of Robert Kennedy Jr.?
Maybe it's the other way then, because Bobby Kennedy. I'm pretty sure he's Bobby Kennedy's kid. Yeah, and then that makes JF. Bobby, who also got murked, which is crazy.
I haven't studied the Kennedy family tree
In quite some time. I
At one
have.
point, I had mastered it.
Yeah,
but
I have, but just not lately.
just to clarify.
Yeah. So, anyway, small little thing. I don't know how the hell we got here. Sorry
We
about
just
that.
went
I love it. I love
on an absolute whirlwind, and it was incredible.
We should start mapping our conversations on a whiteboard, just bullet points, start here, zigzag, end up.
It
here.
would look like
Do it after the show.
No,
Yeah.
what would be
Just review the whiteboard after.
what would be funny
Yeah, that'd be cool.
is if you know how for big speeches they have, I feel so bad for not knowing the actual name, the person who sign languages the speech.
The signer.
Yeah, we could just have not a signer, but someone in the background on a whiteboard who just draws our whole conversation out
Yeah.
mid podcast.
they would
be
look like the
chill.
Charlie Day meme, where he's in front of the whiteboard and he looks like a
All cracked
schizophrenic.
out
Yeah,
on coffee.
that would be the person trying to follow the conversation.
We'll just load our guy up with 3 Adderalls and he'll just paint sketches behind us.
He just has a total meltdown behind us. Can't handle the pace that we're going at.
Few can. If you can, I commend you for that.
Yeah, I lost myself long ago.
Fix the elections.
The touchboard guy.
Oh,
for the
dude, those are
elections.
good.
Oh man, are you watching Succession?
You know,
We don't have
not
to talk
really.
about- okay.
I knew the touchboard was going to bring that up.
I tried to get into the first season. I think it's most TV watching experiences in my life where I try to watch it with my girlfriend and she either falls asleep or that happens, whatever, and we just never make it through the season.
You're a better man than me because Kate will fall asleep or something, and I'll just leave her in the dust. 2 days later, I finished 2 seasons, and she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "You never were going to watch."
There's
that with
certain
me."
things I know that I can do that with. With Succession, it's gonna be. I don't even want to get into hot Succession takes on this podcast.
we
'cause
are.
I feel like you
we
guys
are
are
podcast of takes, so
okay.
you won't. You won't
Do you
offend
have
us.
takes
You
on
won't
it?
offend
I don't
us.
really have takes. I guess just initial impressions, good show, right? Felt like a very similar dynamic being brought up again and again, which
A lot.
is fine. And I just ultimately just didn't get super into it. Is all it was.
So, I'm a fan of Succession, but where I can quickly agree with you, one, yes, it brings up the same topic a lot, and two,
Which is probably the theme, right? It's the whole thing about the family and father and son
It's
and all
about
that.
power,
Yeah.
dis-
It's emulated
Power.
over the Murdaugh family.
Okay.
Murdoch or Murdaugh? I always fuck this up. The Fox guy, Murdaugh.
no, Murdaugh was the
Murdoch.
he was the
there's a
trial
k
attorney
in there, I
in
think.
South Carolina.
Yeah, so the other guy, the guy that ran Fox, the
Murdoch.
media, Murdoch.
Yeah,
He owns
yeah,
Fox
yeah.
News, the huge media conglomerate.
I
Are you
really
even a Succession
didn't know
fan,
that.
bro? You don't even know the origin of the
fumbled
story?
Up. I admittedly said I don't know which one it is. It's one of these two.
I know, I'm kidding.
So,
Yo, we were talking about cover-up people earlier.
Cover-up people?
Who's Tom Wamsgam?
oh yeah, Wamsgam.
Mom scams a little dog. Well, he hasn't gotten too far. I don't want to ruin it for him.
So is
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, but I feel like that was the vibe, right? They knew something. and they were
Everybody,
trying to keep it under
information's
wraps.
power, baby.
How did we circle back to this? Look how crazy that was.
What's great is we usually do a Succession category
Yeah.
on every episode, and for those who are just tuning in who haven't heard other episodes, this doesn't spoil anything. But one of my biggest beefs, going back to why you're
Yeah.
not a huge fan,
Yeah.
it's a bit repetitive, but what I don't love, and I understand this is like a for the audience thing, but they like the whole show is about power distribution, the business, the family bringing or like passing along the torch in the family, coming to power. They never ever get into the actual business operations.
Sure.
And I've been complaining about that. And in the last
They
episode,
do it a little bit.
not enough to pique my interest
Sure.
a ton.
It's just kind of like business.
They
Deal.
We're
needs
doing
signed.
business.
They
I buy
superficially
you.
talk about things.
and
You
this
buy
guy
me.
leads the business.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
finally got into it in this last episode where they're
Okay.
on the media floor with Tom,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
bring the business into the episode a lot, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that.
Because what? They're like a media conglomerate,
Yeah,
basically,
they basically
right?
own Fox News.
Yeah, okay.
Amongst a lot of other. It's a large company.
I liked that
Yeah,
episode a lot.
That episode was righteous.
It was a good episode. I don't want to ruin it for Logan, but yeah,
We weren't even going to get into it. I love that we just capped it quickly.
I
What
have
was I gonna
takes
say?
on most things,
Oh, so I wanted to say,
even if I'm not a spectator. So keep them coming.
you're a very opinionated fella.
Do you have a take on
I have my opinions. I don't feel
kidding.
like I showcase them
You don't
like a
You
crazy
don't.
man. I
You-
tend to keep them to myself,
Like
or
a
I'll
fine wine.
converse with people like you, my friends.
Yes.
I will
Safe
converse
space.
about my safe space.
In a safe space.
Opinions are valued here. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
hear
I
ya.
tend to form an opinion pretty quickly on something for sure. Yeah.
I feel like I wish I could. I do the opposite. Whenever I eventually form an opinion on something, I immediately the first person that goes. I'm always expecting somebody to go, "That's wrong because of this," and I'm just like, "Fuck yeah, I'm such an idiot. Like, why did I ever think that way?"
You
I'm
just gotta believe
unsure.
it. You gotta believe in your opinion.
I know.
And if
I'm-
your
I'm too
opinion
open-minded.
changes because of an open conversation, I
Yeah.
think that's totally fine. I
That's-
think that's
That's what happens. I'm
That
too
is
open
what-
to the development of an idea.
societal discord should be. Is
Right.
like talking about opinions instead of like beating you over the head with
Shame
your
and,
opinion.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is my fucking opinion.
I agree.
Anything else is wrong.
'Cause
That
it all,
sucks.
I feel like it all comes at like people identify themselves at what's up.
tie game. Sorry.
Oh, it's
Oh.
all good.
Sorry, I was pointing at Pat.
I
didn't
feel like
wanna-
people like just identify themselves with the opinion they have.
Yeah.
So they feel like if their opinion is being attacked, then they feel like they're being attacked. But it's just like an idea, and you're allowed
The-
to change that idea. It's not who you are, you know.
And what I would add to that is that a lot of the people that are that adamant about their opinions, it means that they didn't form the opinion on their own.
Sure. And they don't have.
It
any
means
evidence
that
to
that
back it up.
opinion was influenced by someone, which is natural, right? Like that's okay.
Yeah.
But people blindly follow that.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So
It becomes a regurgitation of somebody else's
does.
word, which
what that leads, literally, what you just said, Yaza, and then you said in addition, and in addition to that,
How
on
many
the-
additions?
on the same topic, but a little off topic. Like this is when you can get absolutely.
it's issue.
Yeah, this is where like one thing Yaza has been very insightful for me is like you said, if you have that bit strong of an opinion, usually you didn't form it yourself. When you get into like when that gets political and you have political opinions and you're reading news from a few sources, you think like, all right, my news app, social media, Google, you get different news sources, but it's all centered around you and your browsing history and your
Sure.
tendencies. So like you open my mind up to the fact that like you can check 4 different news publishers
on the same topic,
or
right?
platforms,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's all going to siphon somewhat of the same information to you, which is
lead-
different than someone else. So
Yeah.
when all those opinions and like things come into play, everyone is so like hardcore and sharp edged about it because they believe it so much.
Yeah.
Because they see it in
And I would give people the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, for sure.
In this day and age, that like it's not totally on them because it's hard to find information about a polarizing or contentious subject from all sides.
That's
Right.
objective.
It's a lot of work. and
Objective,
people-
logical, rational. It's difficult to find that
People
nowadays.
don't have time to do that too. They're like, do you expect the single mom that's taking care of 4 kids and working 3 jobs to have time to Google all this shit? Like, I don't expect that at all.
I expect a strong woman like that to be the most.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but
No, I'm kidding.
yeah. So yeah, it's like an epistemological pandemic is what
haven't
Joe
heard
told
that
me. Epistemological.
I have a pretty. I feel. I
epistemology
pride myself in
knowledge.
my vocabulary. I don't know if I've heard that
So
one before.
epistemology is the study of like the acquisition of knowledge. So an epistemological
That is
pandemic. It's like people don't know where to get the information. It's
Yeah.
like it's
Well, and there's so
diverse.
much false information
Yeah.
and whatnot. I always feel like the way you form an opinion is by thinking critically about something, and however your brain works, rationalizing, using logic to form an opinion. So in that way, when someone else presents you with solid rationale and solid logic, you should be open to it because that's how you formed your opinion in the first place.
Exactly.
And so therefore you would change it.
fully
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, if it
Fully
was
agree.
Or maybe not
if
change
it's
it, but at
compelling
least
enough, you'll listen.
listen to it is,
Yeah.
is the biggest. You don't need to go change your, but listen to them because in their head, they formed this opinion based off of a
Things-
similar way that you did.
in a different reality, in a sense.
Totally.
Just back to what you were saying, like depending on where you are, like on the web, you might be receiving totally different information suggested to you
Right.
from anybody else. So basically, like that helped me a lot when like people with different opinions is like you've never seen the stuff I've seen, and I've never seen
Right.
the stuff you've seen. And we're coming from totally different worlds, so that's why it got so contentious there for a
And
while.
we don't
It's
all
like,
need to have the same opinion. That's okay.
yeah.
that is huge. Like we don't have to agree. We don't have
We
to.
certainly do not need
I
to.
go back home to fucking Fort Wayne, and they're a little more than they need to be, but like very conservative, which is fine. They're conservative. They supported Trump, and I don't want to get too much into it, but like I just told them I didn't vote for him, and they were like. They're like, oh, Chicago, like
Yeah,
progressive, and like
Lib.
I just owned it. It was just like, and I had enough information that like kind of I brought shit up. Like I like guns, you like guns, I like guns, like whatever,
Right.
shit like that.
But that's the hard part.
that-
It's hard to find people that will listen to your logic
Yeah.
instead of hearing your opinion and just shitting on it
Right.
because they have a different one.
And that's the topic at hand, right? Is the fact that like I'm such a believer in like, look, if you don't believe what you're hearing or what I'm saying, just be open and accept it and don't get mad that I'm saying it.
Don't be an ass.
Yeah, you
Don't
know,
be an
like-
ass just because someone thinks differently than you,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. We've talked about that on the pod before, and it's just like I wish everyone could have that thought process of like, all right, if you don't agree, you don't agree, but at least I don't
Right.
like
It takes a pretty open-minded person with bigger life experiences to do that. And I think unfortunately the reality is that not everyone has experiences in their life that like let them be that open-minded.
right.
Sure. No, I totally agree. I mean,
But
Not everyone's had the opportunity to go to Thailand like we have.
or
I'm sure
Italy-
you guys
Italy
got
last summer.
real open-minded in
Yeah.
Thailand.
We did. Yeah.
It was sick as hell. But
Meeting
I'm
the Thai
jealous.
president
I'm jealous.
day one was super cool.
he was a cool guy. Actually, he actually is a
Good
bad
friend of
person.
ours.
We're gonna take a stance. We're not
Yeah.
friends with the Thai guys.
Is the pod anti-Thai monarchy?
There's
We're anti-monarchy.
Okay.
We might
There's
get
a
shut
lo-
down.
There's a lot going
Guys,
on.
if this is the last one, we're sorry.
Sorry, guys.
The monarchy may come after us.
Send help.
Please.
I got some good stuff over here.
Yeah, let's start working through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my sweatshirt off. I'm a little toasty, so keep going.
Is this conversation getting you hot?
Yes, it is.
All right. So I got some good stuff here. We're going to pivot over to common topic that we cover on the pod, current news and events, sometimes science, sometimes random. So,
Love that.
article came out today titled Australian Strongman Spins Ferris Wheel with His Bare Hands. So I'll give you a little background.
Yes.
This man spun a whole Ferris wheel in 16 minutes and 55 seconds, breaking a world record.
Okay.
Like, I guess all the way around.
Right.
From, the diameter. So
Yeah,
my first
full
question,
rotation.
Yeah, first question is, whose record is he breaking? And then
Yeah, that's a
second
good
of all, I'm
question.
like, what's the stipulation? Is there like diameter requirements to
Yeah.
make this like a Guinness Book of World Record thing?
How much oil is in the rails?
Yeah.
When was it last repaired?
Yeah.
What's the mechanical efficiency of the Ferris wheel in general?
Hydraulics? Question mark.
Wind.
When were the hydraulics tuned up? Exactly.
I want to know the barometer. What's the barometer reading?
There
at this
can be
point?
so many factors that go into this.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I just think it's a little.
I'm hoping you did the
Iffy.
homework because I need to know all these factors.
Well, I looked into it, and supposedly, so I know the time. I read the article. They didn't have like the previous record was set on a Ferris wheel that was this big. Like they didn't have those statistics, but they did.
Yep,
No,
big
no,
miss.
no. It's not a miss. It's a record. It's in Guinness. But here's the funny part of the whole story.
Uh-huh.
This guy has 2 other Guinness Book of World Records.
Yes.
I'm excited.
I
I'm
wanna
excited
know
for this.
now.
Was the other one a carousel? Let me guess. Was he spinning a carousel of horses?
Oh no, I'm kidding. So he's an Australian bodybuilder. He also has heaviest vehicle pushed over 100 feet.
Okay.
All right.
Here's the good one. Fastest 20-meter light aircraft pull with only teeth.
Oh my God. How is he attaching this? to
I
his teeth?
swear to God.
Whoa. What kind
That's incredibly niche.
that is super niche.
Sounds like he's got a good dentist.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
We gotta
His dentist hates him.
find these niche world record things that
We
are
could
like,
do
achievable.
one.
Yeah,
I,
we can
I
find,
think we could do one.
Longest continuous podcast recording?
Let's start
I mean,
right now.
5 days.
we could even do longest continuous podcast recording with the title "Coming from Us to You." We've
Well-
already got it, dude. We can get in the book.
We can't corner it to make it easy.
I mean, I'm all about it.
That's what he does.
It sounds like what this guy's doing.
Okay,
Light
because here's
aircraft
the thing.
That's
with
Light
teeth.
aircraft with teeth.
Yeah,
That's very
because you know
true.
he looked at with arms and was like, "Can't do that."
Yeah.
Attached to waist, can't do that.
Then he looked at heavy aircraft.
He looked at everything.
Heavy aircraft was off the table quickly.
He looked. Yeah,
He was like,
I do remember
we're
seeing
light aircrafting it.
remember Wild Boys? You guys ever watch Wild Boys?
Oh, yeah.
There was like they were doing an episode, and in the episode, this dude pulled a vehicle with his penis, and it was
Okay,
you
I
guys
was going to
remember that?
drop a penis pole situation.
Dude, he straight up did it, and it
Yeah.
was crazy.
Wait. So I haven't seen that.
What-
And second of all, it's got to be soft if you're pulling, right?
I mean, he wasn't totally torqued. I don't think he had a fluffer. No, it was soft.
Wait,
Okay.
if you're pulling,
It's got to be soft, right?
It was
you just
soft.
get that.
Yeah, it was
tension
elastic
tug.
because they blurred it out on MTV, but you could see the elasticity of the penis. It was definitely not hard.
ugh.
Definitely flaccid.
No veins.
Definitely a limp dick. Yeah, it was
Well, it's a,
Logan's like, I haven't seen a soft dick in years.
always hard, baby. Guys,
I was
always
I was
hard.
about to say he was like doing some penis push-ups with some Viagra or something. I feel like I get what you're saying that it has
Had
to
some
be
of that honey.
soft. But for me, for some reason, I feel like you get the most force if it's erect, right?
maybe
I
in
don't
a, in
know.
a thrusting fashion, but in a
Not
pull
in a
Yeah, I'm kind of
pulling.
thinking more. Okay,
Yeah. Like
Okay.
if you're pulling,
so like a reverse sled dog with your penis.
yeah, you'd probably want it.
Yes.
You wouldn't want it like, yeah, you'd want it the tension to be
It
tight.
just sounds so painful.
Yeah.
What
Well,
would it-
we can move on to the next article.
Okay,
Yes,
but we are
yeah.
going to set a Guinness World Record. We just need to identify it first.
I got another record coming up after this one, but article came out yesterday titled Florida Police Attempt to Wrangle Alligator, Discover It's Made of Sand. So supposedly the police
discovered what?
Excuse me?
discover it's made of sand.
The alligator was a sand alligator.
Yeah. So
okay, I'm listening.
police department in Florida
Very intrigued.
his police department gets a call from pedestrians on the beach, and the officers get there, and there's like tons of photos and videos of this online, but they're like it's like a huge gator, probably like 8-9 feet, and there's videos of the police officers like they're kind of poking at the tail, like toying at the tail a little bit, And then eventually, after like 2 minutes, they realize it's literally a sand make of a huge alligator. They're like perfect.
Bring on the SWAT team.
How
Just like 5 officers. Yeah.
how do you get the colors correctly with that?
So it was nighttime. It was
Oh, okay.
nighttime, and
Okay,
it was
okay.
like sunset. I should have the pictures. We can actually pull them up in the YouTube video for those watching. But I wish I could surface it. But here's the funny part. The police left a statement behind for the community. And they said, "We love the talented people creating works of art in the sand. But with it being turtle nesting season, remember to flatten your sandcastles and sculptures before you leave."
Hey, protect the turtles.
Yeah,
I'm Team Turtle.
we're Team Turtle on the pod.
Okay, this is a turtle pod.
Yeah.
I love turtles.
I love turtles.
So they were tugging at sand. How was this?
It's sunset. It's like a 13-foot perfect replica sand model of an alligator.
But like, didn't their hands go through the sand?
Well,
go,
they started poking at it
Oh.
with sticks, and they
Sorry.
realized, oh, this is sand.
We've got it surrounded,
This
boys.
this could only happen in Florida. This could
Yeah.
truly only happen in Florida.
We'll put a picture up on the YouTube video. It's funny. It's pretty good.
Can I ask you guys can I ask an alligator question while we're here?
So ready for an alligator question.
I've got alligator trivia in my head.
So if you are offered, how much money would it take for you today? We pull in an alligator in the room to sit on its back, close its jaws, tape it up,
Depends how big it is.
wrangle an alligator. No experience, just your knowledge today.
It
Talking
depends
like
how big.
fi-
The
like a-
size is
like a
huge
5
for me
foot.
there.
It is.
5
So
foot.
remember, the tail is like half its body length. I'm gonna say.
I would say a 5-footer
10
is
foot.
that's so big.
That's a pretty big gator.
No. It's not like, think about. So it's a 5 foot body with a
No,
5
dude,
foot
we-
tail.
yeah, but the body is
That
still
10
bigger.
foot with everything is a big gator.
All right, 8 foot.
No, I'm not doing that.
It's not so strong. It's
10-foot gator weighs 270 pounds on average.
that's
Okay,
that's not that much.
That's not as much as I thought.
Yeah. So
What?
let's put it this way.
Wow.
So a gator that is not big enough that once you sit on its back, it's not rolling you off. It's like you have it contained. It's not.
And you're asking how much money?
It's more about like the risk. Like all
At
you
that
have to
point-
do is sit on the back.
At that point, it's
Close the mouth,
Is a finger,
tape
hand,
it.
or arm gonna get bit?
yeah, it's how much
How
of
careful
your
are you?
body. Yeah.
Sorry.
How many fingers, digits,
Yeah,
items
I'm-
are you willing to lose?
I'm not into this much, and I'm not. I
$1
don't
million.
know- I don't know much about it. If you gave
Million
me
easy.
you gave me
Easy.
500K.
I'm not saying I would do it successfully, but I would sure as hell try it.
Attempt or success or no success, you get the money no matter what.
Oh, that's a hard attempt.
I would do it. I would do it.
$1 million?
for, like,
$1 million. $1 million.
Yeah, I mean it's people's jobs,
I would
and
do it.
gators are a hell of a lot more chill than crocodiles. So
Yeah, I specifically did not use Crocs. Crocs
Crocs would
the
murder.
shit out of
And
me.
here's the thing: you're not in the water with them, and they are fast outside of the water, but they're deadliest in the water.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about an in water wrangle. That would be crazy.
You'd be done for.
You die.
Yeah.
That's death.
in water.
You know, there's
man.
actually been a spike in alligator killings in South Carolina, where my family lives.
Why? Hunger?
I don't think it's hunger. I think it's older people
Oh, walking little dogs.
or people walking little dogs. And I think people have just kind of become a little bit
Too complacent.
ignorant of the fact that there are a shit ton of alligators down there.
Dinosaurs.
Killer
Killer dinosaurs.
it's
Crazy.
that can run like what, 20 miles per hour on land or something
I think they get up
ridiculous.
to 30.
There's like some ridiculous statistic on how fast they can run, and that's why they say to run as
How fast do alligators run? I know you already looked it up earlier.
No. I had.
I want to
previous-
say it's like 20, 25 they can get up
That's-
to.
Yeah. I like 25.
And if I'm totally
I think they
bullshitting,
go 30. I think
That's
they can go
fair.
30.
20.
20, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. 20 miles per hour.
How far does a domesticated turkey fly? 35.
On land, 35.
On land, 35.
Land 35.
I mean, that's terrifying.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, there's been a spike just because people walk their dogs by these lagoons or whatever. The dog goes in first. They go after the dog, and then once you're in the water,
No.
it's wraps.
you're in
Game
the
on.
Gator
I mean, game
territory.
over. Oh my god.
So-
It's wraps.
Gators top out about 20. Guess how fast crocodiles run?
In water or out of water?
Out of water.
35.
20.
You dick. I was about to do
got
that.
me.
I was like, 50? Are they cheetahs? Like,
I
what's
said I'm
happening?
50. So last
Real quick while we're on animal speeds.
yeah, let's rip it. Let's rip it.
Do you guys know how far a domesticated turkey can fly?
Don't
This
they?
this feels like a question in
It's a
Monty
two-part
Python
question.
and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you.
Turkeys don't
two
fly.
questions. Domesticated turkeys cannot fly because they're overbred. Their breasts are too big. How
Yeah.
far can a wild turkey fly, if at all?
Like 6 feet. Something just tiny.
I have 6 feet.
I feel like turkeys don't fly far.
They do like a little hop jump fly
I
situation.
don't think they fly
They have big
far.
breast muscles, so they are good for short bursts of 100 yards max.
100 yards.
So that's a very short.
And they can get up to 6 to 9 meters high up into a tree. But like,
It's not. Yeah.
it's just bursts.
So they're thick ass birds
They are thick
that have
ones.
just like lost their flying ability because they're so thick.
They're so thick. They said, we'll give this up because we look good being this thick.
Okay, question for the pod in the room.
Yeah.
Are we okay with eating turkeys? Like a shit ton of turkeys every year? Because I'm kind.
I don't like how many are wasted. I feel like a lot are wasted.
Oh,
I'm
but
fine
I
with-
mean, I'll eat. I know at least myself. I will eat those leftovers for a week.
I'm not huge
Two
on
times
turkey.
a day.
I feel like it's not my favorite type of meat.
That's
I
fair.
like it.
I'm just saying, like in general,
Yeah,
I feel like there's some hate. I mean, which makes sense.
No, I'm
but
totally
it's-
fine with eating turkeys.
Yeah.
We eat chicken.
Oh,
way
just
more
like as a
than turkey.
species?
I think,
Oh, yeah.
but just like a
Poultry.
species, and the fact that it's like a celebrated event for human beings
Yeah.
to feast on turkeys.
I mean,
Or
they still
sorry,
have it-
Americans.
They still have it better than the cow. Like
Yeah.
every day is Thanksgiving for cows.
I don't know, guys.
thousands
I
of
saw an Instagram post the other day, and I don't know if this is a meme or not, but I saw this post that was from like a turkey rescue or something, like a turkey habitat.
Sounds like you're in the PETA algorithm.
I don't think I'm in the PETA because it was a meme. It was on a meme page, but it was referencing a real post, and it was saying that like turkeys are much like something like a dog. They like affection and petting. That made me question things for a second,
I mean,
but then I was kind of like, once a year,
pigs like petting.
and also you got deli meat turkey all year long. It doesn't matter that it's just Thanksgiving, right?
That's
Like those
true.
things. So, all right, that was just a quick question. That was a recency bias question that I
It's
had
good
to
that
ask.
you've already critically thunk about this.
Not.
I
A
Here's the
lot.
issue. We always buy the deli meat turkey and then we never eat it. And it goes bad in like 2 days.
and then you
Yeah.
hear
If
someone,
it's fresh deli meat, it goes bad in like 2 days and
Yeah.
it sucks.
and there's like someone like scavenging your trash, and then you're like, "Oh, what's up, Eric? What's up, dude?
You guys ever get
Hey, good to see you,
gabagool?
man.
Love turkey."
You need some turkey?
So last article I'll pull out. Article came out yesterday,
Recent.
titled "Florida Researcher Breaks World Record for Living Underwater." So this fucking researcher has spent 74 consecutive days underwater.
In like a bubble underwater.
So he broke the previous world record of 73 days. So similar to who has spun a Ferris wheel, who has spent 73 days underwater. But here's the catch. So to answer your question, I read this article and I'm like immediately thinking of like a human underwater with scuba gear, like sleeping, tying themselves to like the ocean floor.
With sharks and eels and
As
giant
you
squid.
should. As you should.
Like, as the article title implies.
Right.
But supposedly in Key Largo, Florida, there's a 30-foot lagoon attached to the ocean in which there is a 30-square-foot little room 30 feet under
Yeah.
that this guy has consecutively been in for 74 days now.
Interesting. Like a straight up hotel room, or was it like a? Because I know that
It's probably about the size of this room,
but like, so I know that
smaller.
So this astronaut, after he flew and did space missions and shit, he started doing science in the ocean, and they have like straight up like it looks like a jellyfish.
Yeah,
like
it
dome
looked like
that
a-
captures
Okay,
a
so
lot
that-
of air,
that you're literally
and they
talking
go
about-
up into like they swim up and under, get in.
It was a sphere.
Yeah. That engineering. I mean, it's simple, but it's kind of crazy. People do that.
Well, the engineering behind it isn't what's
It's a bowl.
at topic. The
Yeah.
crazy thing is who does that, first
Yeah,
of all.
sure.
And
there's nothing to do with being underwater there. It's basically like
The big thing
you're in a confined space for 30 days, and can you do that? Or whatever the hell the duration was.
This researcher is supposedly mainly studying what the underwater depth and pressure and whatnot does to your like blood system.
Oh, okay.
And like as a
Okay.
human and
Sure.
how you like function, your
So
bodily functions.
unlike the Guinness guy,
but it's a
he's
Guinness
doing
record.
this for science and not just the record.
That's what he says.
For science. Okay.
It's always what he
Quotations are being used
But
for
like
science.
if we recorded the world's longest podcast, we could say we were doing it for human stamina science. But really we were doing it for
I think we were
ourselves.
doing it for the betterment of society so that they could hear us.
It's just so much blow.
Yeah.
And so
but we
much-
could tack it
so
up
much
as a
halo.
scientific project. But yeah, I thought those three things were pretty wild that have all happened in the last day.
I like them. Those were good finds.
I like those a lot.
You never know what's going on. And this is all Oceanside. This is all in America. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is wild.
We get up to some weird shit here, particularly in Florida,
Yeah.
Florida houses
I
a lot of
respect it.
weird habits. That's for sure.
Someone's got a house.
including meth.
Although I will say the first story was in Australia. My bad.
Oh, true. Not stateside.
Aussies don't fuck around, dude. They're crazy.
Aussie.
They're the best. They're the best. If you're on vacation, you run into a group of Aussies, pay an arm and a leg to hang out with those guys the rest of the time. They are the best time ever. But yeah, Logan, you alluded to the fact that you have some guild drama developing.
Yeah, I don't know to the extent to which I can just hop right into this because I feel like
So
I'm like gaming subculture. Like not everyone knows what goes on in the world of Warcraft.
So
as it were.
from a layperson's understanding, WoW, World of Warcraft, massive, is it MMO?
MMORPG, bro.
MMO
To
RPG,
quote Cartman in South Park.
Wait. What does MMO stand for?
Massively
masculine
multiplayer
opinions.
online.
What?
Oh,
Is that it?
Yeah, it's
Massive
basically
multiplayer
means that it's an open world. Like you're playing with other human beings that are playing the same instance of the game.
MMO is new to me. Okay.
MMO, massively multiplayer online, I believe, something like that.
role-playing game.
Role playing game, just RPG. That's like your Skyrim. That's your whatever. It's just the layer that World of Warcraft adds is the MMO part where you're sharing that
With
a
online.
shit ton of people. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Back in the day, a shit ton, not as much anymore, but yeah.
What are the numbers like right now? Do you know?
It's really tough because they have basically 3 instances of the game,
Randall.
and so I couldn't tell you what's what, but I can tell you. I play
Classic.
Wrath of the Lich King Classic. So Wrath of the Lich King is what I've been playing.
Lich King has like a thorn crown, right?
The Lich King it's not a thorn crown. That's Jesus.
JC, how could I forget?
The Lich King
Friend of the pod, by the way.
has, I believe, it's not the Helm of Natharian. It's some helm that has a pretty spooky name, and it makes him rule the dead, basically.
As of May 10th,
Oh, he's a necromancer.
Yeah, he's like the king. He's like the necromancer king. He's the king of the Lich. He's the Lich King,
He looks like a guardian.
and he's a fallen angel. He's a fallen angel, basically.
Aren't we all just fallen angels?
So he was a prince of the greatest kingdom of men, and in order to save the kingdom of men, he basically sought this great power, and this great power cursed him to become the Lich King.
kind of a banger curse to have.
It's a banger curse, it's the coolest fucking lore that this game has ever had, and so like that's why I love it. I've always been obsessed with this fucking guy, the Lich King.
So you only encounter him in like the story mode.
You encounter him. He's in Warcraft 3. Shout out Ian Akers. We've talked about this.
I played that a little bit with him.
I believe Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. You get a little bit of Arthas, and Wrath of the Lich King was the second expansion to World of Warcraft, and this launched in about, I want to say maybe 2007, 2008. I played it when I was a 7th grader.
Jeez,
Back
man.
in the day.
We were so young in
We were
7 and 8.
We were super young, and they've been on this cycle of re-releasing the expansions of the game, so that people will come back and play them for nostalgia reasons and pay Activision Blizzard money.
So is it a branching or is it a layering?
It is a branch. It is its own separate instance of the game.
So once you go on
you
that
call
branch, you don't.
You can't hop around.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
you
commit.
sign up and you say, I'm playing this.
Mm-hmm.
As they progress into further expansions in this like re-rollout cycle, you can continue playing the character that you played in the previous.
Okay. So it builds
In
upon.
my situation, I was obsessed with Wrath of the Lich King when I was in middle school. I have some very good friends that the only reason we're friends is because we played World of Warcraft together in middle school and high school.
Best type of friends.
Best type of friends. And we started playing again when this was announced to be re-released.
Okay.
And so I got pretty into it. I basically, my goal was to fulfill all of the things in the game as a kid that I wanted to do, but was either too dumb to do,
Okay.
or like with a schedule of a kid, you just don't have the time to do, right?
Gotcha.
Not saying we're not busy now, but things are a bit more structured. As a kid, you're just all over the fucking place all the time.
Absolutely.
So I went out with that intent. And so yeah, I'm part of a guild, which is a group of people in World of Warcraft.
Real life people.
Real life people. They are human beings on the other end of the computer. And you play together, and you basically try to defeat the biggest fucking bad guys in the game as a group. And it takes two forms. You can do 25-man versions of these dungeons. They call them raids.
Raids.
You can do 25-man versions, or you can do 10-man versions. And they're pretty complex. They take a lot of coordination amongst the different people. Everyone in the group plays a different role. And there's certain things you have to account for, whether it's moving around, avoiding things, doing things at a certain time. It's a complex thing. So basically, I grew up with these people. I just found them through the game, and they needed someone to do damage, which is the role that I play in the game.
Your damage
DPS. I am a human rogue.
So heavy on the DPS.
Heavy on the DPS, human rogue. It's kind of like a ninja type of class.
I love that.
It's pretty sick.
I would think agility would play more into your role.
Agility is the main stat that I benefit from in the game, Yaza. So that is extremely perceptive of you to state that. You know, agility is what I go after because that helps me do better in the game. But basically, to not bore anyone that does not love video games in the passion that I do, you group up with these people, and it's a difficult thing to organize. These things reset every week.
You schedule dates, right?
You schedule dates, you schedule times, you get a group of people together, and you try to progress through these raids, and ultimately, beat all the bosses, get the best gear, yada, yada, yada. So I've been doing this with this group of people. The new raid came out, I want to say, in February. I've been raiding with them since January. The new raid came out in February.
This makes me want to get down on a video game so much.
It's incredible. It's really fun. It's not only is it a video game, but it's social. It's challenging. You have to practice your communication skills. There's a lot of shit there's an economy in the game. There's all this shit that's very, very cool. But I've been with this group of people for about 6 months, playing with them basically on a weekly basis for like a few hours a week to do this thing. We did a good job. We cleared it. We progressed through it. We killed the last boss. It was electric. I was screaming my ass off when we did it.
Nice.
The past few weeks, things have been a little shaky. They've been a little shaky in the guild.
For what reasons?
We've just kind of been lacking attendance. We post these signups every week in Discord. People aren't signing up. They're saying they're going to miss. People aren't as interested in the game as it
Because
seems
you
they were.
defeated the final boss?
I think that's part of it. I think
Okay.
that's part of it. I think a big part of it, and before I get into the reasons why, basically the big thing that happened this week is that there's this lead hog, right? There's this guy that leads us as a group of people.
What do you call him? Sire?
He's our...
Is this the clan?
Technically, he's our guild master.
I was gonna ask earlier.
Badass.
We were chatting before we went on set a little bit about it, and I was curious if there was a guild master.
He's the guild master.
So is he communicating with like the guild fallout a little bit? Like, hey, we'll reform. Sorry to get off.
So here, no, this is the fucking shit.
Okay.
man.
Okay.
This is what we
This
need.
is the fucking shit right here. Is that this was our leader, our Aragorn in the Fellowship, as it were, right?
Really?
And he messaged us the other day. Like I said, things have been a little shaky. We haven't been raiding as much.
No.
He messaged us the other day in Discord, and he said he's quitting the game.
What the fuck? Why?
Our shining star is departing. You know,
The game entirely?
yeah. He said he's taking a step back from the game. He definitely is taking a step back from the responsibilities that come with being a guild master.
So can he,
And,
can he rightfully pass the reins over to a member?
To you?
It would not be to me, but there was definitely other guys in the group, in the guild, that were a little bit more serious about things.
But would the belief not be there to back the new leader?
I don't know if it's a leader thing. I really think what it's come down to is that this guy announced that he was done 2 days ago. Since then, 3 of the other officers in the guild, right, the guys that were his right hand, have now left.
The hierarchy and structure that is built into this is so interesting.
know, that's
There-
why it's so
it's
like-
straight politics, bro, and drama. And so
Yes.
It's literally like a company.
it's
a
like a
company.
company. It's a company.
It's
And
very easy to see why it's so like intangibly addicting in a
Yeah.
sense that it's fun, you know, like
It's immersive,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's more. Sorry.
it's fun and it takes commitment. It takes organizing a group of people, which is a fucking difficult thing to do in this day and age. And
Sure.
like, you have to bring all these people together, and you have to say, we're gonna fucking grind this shit out, because it's not easy. I was telling these guys earlier, like, when they release new content, the first few weeks are a fucking grind, because it's brand new, it's hard. You don't know the fights yet. You don't know the mechanics. You don't have the best gear to fight them. You can fight a boss, one single boss. Typically, there's like 10 to 15 in a raid.
Okay.
You can spend hours on one single boss.
So do you pack that all into like one raid session? Like you basically
When it
save
starts
right
out,
before?
it's like 2 nights a week, right? The raids reset on a weekly basis. And so you can make as much progress in a certain week as you would like, but it resets on Tuesdays.
Damn. Okay.
So that's why it's a weekly schedule that you get, and you align with these people. But that's we were doing 25 man, so we're basically organizing 25 people each week across the world. None of us know fucking each other in person. They have no idea what their lives are like, what jobs they work.
You guys don't talk about that stuff?
Not really. Like, it's just like a group of a bunch of super nerds that get together and game and like have fun. Yeah. And like
That's cool.
typically, like, you're shooting shit the whole time. Like, you're raiding, people are talking, you get to know each other a bit.
Yeah.
And that's why it's been a little tough, because like I've been grinding with these guys for 6 months now.
Guys don't
and
show more. What can,
it's crumbling. It's crumbling before my eyes, and I don't know what my next step is.
Is it easy to hop to the next guild?
I probably could. I could probably hop to another one.
What if you created your own?
See, I just don't have the time for that.
You don't think so?
It takes a lot. It takes a lot.
So as a guild master, are you responsible for? Obviously, you have like rosters to fill. It's like almost
You're
like
you're responsible for recruiting. You're responsible for organizing.
in like specialized recruiting. It's like fantasy football. Like you need a
You
quarterback.
need this type of
running
person.
back.
Yeah,
you have to,
yeah,
like, certain-
100%. It is specialized. Like, you need this type of class. You need a healer. You need a damage. You need a tank.
Do you
Whatever
have
it is.
You should revolutionize it and just have tryouts. Is there like like in RuneScape there was a wilderness that you could fight other people?
have you tried ZipRecruiter yet?
You can shout out ZipRecruiter. Sponsor
out.
the pod.
Sponsor.
We'll take a ZipRecruiter or a Halpin Indeed sponsor.
We don't zip. We don't zip.
I was
And
just-
there's not really like there is a way to say, are you good enough to join us, basically.
Do they screenshot their stats and like send them to you or something? Or
There's plugins built into the game that you can say this person has this level of gear, so their gear is this good. There's a number associated with that. There's also logs. So there's logs online of every single fight that you ever did, the damage that you did, the healing that you did, relative to the rest of the populace. How well did you do?
Okay.
What average were you?
so
Wait,
there are
they-
performance numbers.
There's performance metrics, and so yeah, they screen you when you're trying to get into a guild.
That's
and
sick.
like, yeah, back in the day, it wasn't as easy. Like, you literally had to almost do like interviews and shit, and like
So,
Damn.
is
apply
that-
to a guild, and you'd go through an application process, and like,
In
Yeah,
that
all this
sense-
shit.
In that sense of how the guilds will track your stats, is that I'm throwing it way back, but like back to MLG days where you could keep track of stats.
Oh yeah.
Did you play MLG a little bit?
it's like a similar type
Different,
of platform.
like same but different.
Yeah, I
same
mean,
same but different.
It's basically when you start a raid, you have to click a button that says we're going to log this.
Okay.
and then it tracks all the information
Okay.
that the whole group of people do throughout the whole time, right? So, yeah, it basically gives you an average of, hey, this class, relative to all the other people that have logged their fights against this boss, here's the percentile that you are in
What are your numbers like?
relative to the others.
Top 2%.
I'm not a top tour. And I
three
think
isn't that
that's
bad.
that's part of why I still love this game, is that I didn't fucking obsess over it to the point of doing all this shit to be the best or whatever, and I'm still enjoying it as a fucking video game, which it is, right? Like I'm
Right,
still enjoying.
right.
So I think the big thing to tie it back to like these people leaving, if to put it in perspective, I have one character that I play and
Lich
that I
King?
raid on. No,
Okay.
not the Lich King's the bad guy. My character fights.
Oh, okay.
But I have one character that I play. You have to level that character to max level, which is 80 levels in Wrath of the Lich King.
On average, how long does that take?
It probably took me at the time like 2 months.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on how
Child's
much.
play.
I
on
was
how-
expecting longer. Yeah,
It depends on how little of a life you want to have, and how much you want to play the game. But for me, probably like 2-3 months to get to max level. I did it prior to the expansion being dropped. So like when it was dropped, I was able to level the last 10 levels and then play.
And then it's all gear after that.
Yeah, you gear up.
It's all gear.
You gear up. You're trying to get giga chatted. You're trying to get like
Ooh, I like
totally
that.
souped up with the best things in the game at that time. But to put that in perspective, I have one character. Like that's what I play. I have some characters that I'm leveling still, but they're not max level. They're not raiding. I do one raid a week on one character. A lot of the people in my guild were so damn obsessed with the game that they had like 5,
Oh,
6,
shit.
7 mass level characters, and they were playing this game so much
Oh
that
my
it's like
God.
you're gonna get burnt out and you're just gonna
Yeah.
stop enjoying it. And like, what's the point of playing a video game if you're not enjoying it? That's like literally the point of a video
That's
game.
the point. Yeah.
So it's been a tough week. I'm trying to figure out what the next step is. Do I leave? Do I do I bring my talents elsewhere?
Yeah. Hey,
You should
if,
shop around.
if
You should
you're
definitely shop
looking
around.
for a new safe haven,
Yeah.
coming from us to you is looking for a full-time producer.
Okay.
No.
So I gotta shift my WoW skills into production
I was gonna say,
abilities.
your talents are best served elsewhere.
I can stream. I can be your gaming arm of the brand that eventually
Yeah.
gets established.
That'd be
We
huge.
could- we
Calvert might have a meltdown if we do that.
we could we could sign both. We could sign.
All right, I'm
both
the
of these.
personality. Calvert is the gamer because
Cal-
he's better at all gaming.
There we go.
Your
Yeah.
color commentary.
I'm the color commentary.
That would actually be huge.
I'll be the personality. Calvert's the fucking legendary gamer. Although I'll kick his ass in WoW any day, and he knows that.
I'm sure. He knows his limits.
Yeah.
He knows his limits.
He's listening live on the second cam.
He is, yeah. But that's my WoW story. It's crazy. You guys, there's a whole world that exists,
Oh, I
right?
love it.
In the screen of a computer that not many people are versed in. But the coolest part to me, and to just I know we don't want to talk about this too long, but to put a cap on it, the coolest part to me is you're bringing together a group of 25 people that could look different, feel different, be
Sound
different,
different.
work in different companies, be so different,
Think different.
think different, but you come together and it's like
They all like the same
we're
food.
fucking killing this shit
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
Like we're gaming and we're killing this shit, and it's cool. It's a cool experience that like is a little bit social.
It's very social.
Yeah.
I'm envious for sure.
One goal, one mission, one guild.
One guild, baby. But now that guild is fucking crumbling before my eyes, and we'll see what happens.
Do you think there's a space where you could be a guild agent and just market around players?
No, ZipRecruiter.
Like a
already
guild
has
recruiter? Like
Basically, a guild recruiter, and just like have contacts with all the guild masters.
here's
Like,
the
hey, I
thing.
got this young talent. He's coming up. He's gonna be
there's
sick.
probably a space for it,
I wasn't.
but there's no money.
I don't know
wasn't-
how you. Yeah, how do you capitalize?
I
on
wasn't joking earlier when I was talking about ZipRecruiter. You said guild recruiter, ZipRecruiter.
that? Oh, that's what you were talking about.
No,
Oh.
I looked it up. There are actually WoW recruiters. No,
Actually,
I'm kidding.
Oh, I mean,
No, guys, there's websites and Discord channels and
Oh, sure.
subreddits committed to recruiting in World of Warcraft. Like,
Reddit.
yeah, no one. The issue with WoW is that unlike a lot of other games that are popping off in the esports place right now, there's not a very strong way to like monetize it.
sure. Which
They-
makes it almost better, though.
It's the way they monetize it is content creation.
I was. Yep.
Really?
That's the only way you can monetize.
And content creation for WoW right now is absolutely popping off. Like I could give you guys another 30 minutes of discussion about why WoW is popping off right now. I'm not going to, but it's
Maybe
pretty
the next
wild.
pod. Definitely the next pod. But,
It's
Leroy
pretty nuts.
Jenkins type stuff.
Yeah, they reintroduced the new version, the OG version of the game, and they basically said, if you die at any point playing this game, you have to delete your character and start over.
World
Really?
of World
It's like
of
a hard
Warcraft-
hardcore mode.
World of
Hardcore
Warcraft
mode is what it's
YouTube
called.
Hardcore mode. Damn.
And if you guys and if you look at the numbers on Twitch right now, I've personally watched a streamer that I've always liked. He went from maybe streaming to 1,000 people, 2,000 max, like typically 1,000 about a month and a half ago. He's pulling in, because he's playing this hardcore version of the game now, he's pulling in 16,000 viewers on average.
Damn.
And his sub numbers are probably 2 to 3 times the max that they've ever been for him.
Has he died yet? Do you know?
He did not die on one of his characters. He died on one character, restarted, leveled it up, didn't die on that one, and now he's raiding on that character. And
What?
literally, if you die during a
Oh
raid,
my
you have to
God.
delete your fucking character.
Are there
and
other
start
people
over.
that like are at his level that can
Yeah,
risk
there's
that?
a whole groups of people. I don't get that.
I love the whole
That's
concept
insane.
of
I don't
to
get
me.
that.
Or the hard.
Because I thought it would be more so on the, so you can't like openly kill other characters, right? You would only die through
It's like fantasy
CPUs
football,
or.
So
There's a PvP aspect to the game,
But you're not really.
for the most
engaging.
servers, they're not PvP servers, so you would have to enable that in order to be killed by
Okay.
an enemy
So
player.
it wouldn't be like the South Park episode where like the dude's in the underwear, like Ink comes up and just kills your character. Okay, that doesn't exist.
So
okay.
back to the following of the players and the movement itself. World of Warcraft official YouTube channel alone has 1.7 million subscribers.
Yo, the game that Logan plays has 28,000 daily users.
Daily users.
Yeah, for a
And,
game.
It
For a,
fluctuates for 28,000.
Boys, at one point, World of Warcraft, look up the peak subscription numbers. I want to say it was 13 million. 13 million people that were actively subscribed to the game at one point in
12
time.
million
12 million.
for about 6 years.
100 million World of Warcraft accounts were created from 2004 to today, which was probably a little while ago, but
No, 100 million.
100 million.
Yeah, is that what you said?
100
Sorry.
million
Yeah.
were created. Active players at one point peaked at 12 million.
That's insane.
It was the biggest game of all time.
Undisputed.
And it really forged a lot of fundamental mechanics and things that we see in games that people that are casual gamers, unlike me, right, that play Skyrim, any RPG that you play, Elden Ring.
Is Oblivion part of Skyrim?
Oblivion is Elder Scrolls, yeah.
Elder Scrolls, got it.
And World of Warcraft basically established the framework for RPGs to be made in. And so that's like why it blew up. And so it's me trying to relive some childhood nostalgia
Right
and,
there with you.
and take it a little bit more seriously than I used to be able to. And it's a freaking blast.
Dude, I'm happy for you. I'm very jealous. I'm not kidding you.
I'll keep you guys posted on the outcome.
I love hearing
because
about
I'm
it,
like
dude.
shook right now. I
I
don't know
love
what
it.
to do. I'm sad.
I love guild drama, dude. Guild drama's the
Guild
best.
drama's tight. It's tight.
So like I mentioned,
How the guilds do.
I mentioned the South Park episode that covers it. Have you seen it, Randall?
Not a big South Park guy.
Make love, not Warcraft.
So I saw this behind the scenes with why am I blanking out? Not Trey Parker, but Matt.
Matt.
Sorry, Trey Parker,
Yeah.
the lead. They call him the lead. He's like interviewed, and he's like talking about, cause you know they have like a short time like turnaround on their
short turnaround.
episodes.
Yep.
It's like only like 4 days or 5 days. So he's videotaped. He's like, yeah. So I was disgusted with this episode. It was a season premiere. You don't know what episode it is yet. And he goes on. Is like, I like begged Comedy Central to pull it. I didn't want it to go out. I thought I'd ruin the show. He said it. He was literally suicidal. Like it's like I ruined
those guys.
South
Those guys
Park.
are nutcases.
I ruined South Park with this episode, and they won't like not release it. I'm so fucked. Released it. It was the Make Warcraft, not love, or
Make love, not Warcraft.
Make Love, not Warcraft,
Which is an
episode.
achievement in the real game as an homage to
Oh,
the
really?
South Park episode.
Actually,
Yes.
that's cool. And yeah, it's one of the most iconic episodes of South Park ever now.
I would
Which is
arguably probably one of the most iconic and successful and recognizable ones.
Definitely, yeah. I agree. So
Um,
it's just crazy how like he was so convinced it was a horrible episode,
and I think
did
that
so well.
the reason for that is because it was something that people knew, right? Like,
Yes.
if 13 million people were playing it, then 100 million people knew about it, right? Like,
On top of the third,
like they like your friend's friend or your friend or
Everybody's
your cousin,
aware of
your
it.
brother, like they all played it, and so it was this weird, like very much like Game of Thrones, and that it almost kind of popularized
more than the
nerd
show,
culture.
more than the game.
Yeah.
Like it developed into a little bit more than like.
But I will say, you got shit on as a kid if you played WoW. Like that was like if you played WoW, you were the nerdiest of nerds.
there was a time period.
I
I feel
like
like there was a time
100%.
period where like if you were young enough, it was fun, and then you got into an age group where if you still played
high
it,
school, you're playing it.
Hey,
you're
all
gonna
those
shit
people
on
that
it.
shit on WoW, I guarantee you they played RuneScape.
But
And
that-
WoW is
that's
just
the
a
thing.
better version of RuneScape. So,
I agree with what you're saying.
RuneScape was lit.
That's the thing.
We have a
RuneScape
lot of
was the
RuneScape
time.
fans.
Yeah.
so was WoW, baby.
We were
I'm just
talking
you just
pre-show.
never made the jump. You
WoW
just never
was-
made the jump to the daddy version of it.
WoW was the adult version.
Hey,
of
I
RuneScape.
loved RuneScape as well. Trust me,
version.
RuneScape got me into WoW in a sense. Yeah,
I remember in RuneScape, and then we could turn away from video games. But like, I was leveling up my cooking and fishing, and the best way to do that was to, obviously lobster, cage lobsters,
naturally.
and you'd fill up your inventory, and then it would be best to cook them over a fire so you can sell them at the Grand Exchange for a higher value, obviously.
Of course.
And then I've just full inventory. There's always a charitable person that makes the fire because it takes up inventory space to have the tinder and the log. And I'd just be berating people like, "You fucking selfish motherfuckers! Nobody's building a fire. Build a fucking fire.
fire.
Make the fire!" And like, meanwhile, I'm the selfish motherfucker that's not doing it.
Dude, all I remember is chopping trees for what felt like years in RuneScape.
Dude, I was a miner. I did a lot of mining.
Well, yeah,
I tried to get up to Mithril. Never got up to Mithril because you need to be a member to get to the Mithril.
I did get a membership as a kid. I split it with my buddy.
Nice.
We had dragon armor. It was sick.
Badass.
Yeah, it was sick.
Had to have dragon.
Addy trim helm, bro.
The trimmed gold trim.
Addy gold trim shields. Are you kidding?
Pants or skirt? Pants or skirt?
I feel like I was a pants guy.
Yeah, I was pants too. Pants were badass. God,
The skirt didn't seem practical.
skirt. It wasn't practical, but you were making a statement as a person, and that was the time of our
Addy
lives.
trim.
Addy trim was sick. You
Addy
didn't get
trim.
rune trim though.
You ever get your account hacked? Because I did.
I would hack other motherfuckers.
Yeah, I got fucking hacked on like an idiot once.
standing outside of Lumbee. You want rune gold trimmed, or actually I had Addy at the time. Addy gold
Addy,
trim.
yeah.
So I gave every
You had Addy
single
gold trim?
piece of Addy that I had to a guy.
You remember too?
He went into a shop.
I don't think you needed to be a member for the
No,
gold
no,
trim.
no,
You
no.
just needed hella cash,
I
right?
needed a member.
Oh,
You're
do
right.
it
I
for
think
you.
you trade for it.
I'll do it for you. I'm like 13 years old.
Right.
I transfer him chest plate, legs, sword, everything.
this dude was probably 35 years old.
He goes into the guild, logs off.
Dude,
My heart sunk.
your
as-
heart,
as
your
a
heart.
child.
Yeah.
Never, ever got a message.
Yeah, someone made me give up my password like a fucking idiot somehow. I was
would
probably
do
so
the
young.
So the movie you would do is you go, you'd find somebody and you kind of corner them away from other people so they couldn't like sound
See your
off
conversation.
Yeah, so they couldn't like rat on you, and you'd be like, oh, it's so crazy that when you type your password, it blocks it out.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly what happened.
And
to me.
I would go,
you probably hacked me.
asterisk, and I'm like, isn't that crazy? And they I go, why don't you try? And
That's
they go,
how I got got, dude.
type it out. I go, whoop.
That is
block
literally
out,
how I
block
got. I think Yaza hacked my RuneScape
I
account.
took my Addy.
You fucking
I
asshole.
did that a couple times, dude. It
my
was
God.
awesome.
You're toxic as fuck.
The
dude.
other move was
Likes that.
the other move was like, oh, so like if you drop stuff on the ground, there's 30 seconds before any player can see it, right? They're like, yeah. I go, all right, look, if you drop it, there's a hack. I can't remember the hack, but basically, like, I convinced him to drop it, and then I'd say, all right, hit Control F4, which logs you out. It closes the
Alt
window.
F4.
Alt F4, and it would close the window, and then they would log out, and they couldn't log out fast enough, and then it would appear, and I'd steal it and run away.
Isn't that crazy? You give people a medium to conduct debauchery in, and they just do
Wild
it.
West.
It doesn't matter.
Wild West.
It doesn't matter if it's a bunch of pixels on a fucking screen or what. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it was the Wild West. I love those days. It's totally different now. I tried getting back on like a couple of months ago. I didn't like it.
Yeah, you're
Hey,
logged into
just play WoW with me, dude.
you're logged into
I would
Yaz's
love to. I
RuneScape
would
world.
love to.
Get ready to get
Kate
your
would
shit
fucking kill me.
jacked.
Yeah, she's like already thinks I play too many video games, and I play like twice a month now. It's too much.
He says, "Wait until I get addicted to a new game."
Yeah.
Kate.
That's gonna be tough for the relationship.
Happens. What can you
Speaking
do?
about being addicted, I'm addicted to music.
You are.
So we're gonna play somewhat of a game, not really a game, but I kind of have a good topical lyrical session stated out here. Funny rap lyrics that you probably won't understand. So we're gonna incorporate Pat, producer of the show, former guest, friend of the pod.
Reoccurring guest.
I'm gonna read
Our
the
first
lyrics.
reoccurring guest. First.
Reoccurring guest.
Now I'm a reoccurring. I feel honored.
He's always a reoccurring because he's always here.
Reoccurring / producer. So
I
that's
might-
you're
I
playing
might
a
be
hell of
the
a role.
whiteboard guy next week.
Whiteboard guy.
Yeah, we are looking
Whiteboard.
for a whiteboard guy, but Pat is worth more than.
I'm
than a
willing to
whiteboard
come
guy.
onto the pod full time.
Hell yeah.
Coming. from
However
us
you
to
need me.
you.
Not as a
Oh, he's
host.
got it. No, as
We'll
Whatever
need you.
you need me to do, I'm here.
All right. Appreciate you, brother.
Get in line.
Appreciate
I
you.
live down the street from the studios.
Yeah, that's true. That's easy.
all right. So I'm gonna read off a lyric,
Okay.
and I'm gonna pass Pat the mic. He's got 2 seconds to name the artist. They're gonna be difficult. I don't expect him to get any,
I'm not gonna get a
but then we're gonna chat about how odd. the
Especially
lyrics
with Randall's taste. Like I feel like Randall knows everything.
are. Well, these are all like odd hip hop, non-meaningful lyrics. Okay.
Well, are they popular artists?
Yes. Yes. Everyone in this room
I feel
knows.
like
They're
you're
popular
severely
artists.
Overestimating my lack of rapper knowledge, and I will undoubtedly embarrass myself.
Everyone.
That's okay.
Everyone
Just
here-
Pat is answering.
Well, and then we're gonna open it up. I want to hear.
He wants to put
Pat
me in
Pass
a
it.
pressure cooker.
Give him the mic when he's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I got to read the lyric, and then you get 2 seconds.
Are you singing the lyric?
No.
Or
Are you singing the lyric?
No.
Are you copying my?
You
Are
should,
you-
you should
No,
sing the
don't.
lyric.
Yeah, this is a read.
You should do it.
I don't know
Don't
if it's
look at my
picking up his
screen, though.
voice.
So
Give me the spoken word.
here's the lyric. When I met ya,
That's true.
I admit my first instinct was to trick. You look so good, I'll suck on your daddy's dick.
Young Gravy. Oh, sorry.
Jay-Z.
Biggie.
Really?
Biggie. The song is called Me and My Bitch.
I didn't know he was all fucking into the.
So wait. I want to hear you guys' interpretations. What do you think? When I met ya, I admit my first instinct was to trick. You look so good, I'll suck on your daddy's dick. What do you think that means?
She's got to be. So
She was fine as
fucking
hell,
bad.
and he appreciated that so much that he was willing to suck the dick
Because of
That-
how good the genes were.
that made the semen
That was the
that
semen
was the
that made-
genetics
yeah, I
that
think
created that woman.
That's my only
Levels.
interpretation of how that could be a straight line. From
Yeah,
Biggie.
that's very good looking.
yeah. That's pretty
That has to be.
To want to have the
good
sperm.
hindsight there.
Yeah.
All right.
Who's that for you?
Honestly, the guy to my right, your guys is left. All right, new lyric.
That's a disturbing line.
New
Yeah.
lyric. I'm in the ocean getting shark pussy.
That's it.
That's all it is.
God. I'm gonna go with Kid Cudi.
Close. Lil Wayne.
Okay.
What?
Should've known that.
This song is called
Crazy.
IANAHB. I have no idea what that stands for. IANAHB. Have never heard this before in my life. And I've looked up all the lyrics in context. Fourth grade, I think, is when they taught us about context clues. There are no context clues around these lyrics. I would include them if they have any meaning. But he just literally was talking about one thing, and then he said, I'm in the ocean getting shark pussy. And then he starts talking about something completely different. Nobody knows what that means.
I feel like he does that in every song.
Do you guys-
He has like a little snippet in like every Wheezy like verse.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
his own songs where he just says something wildly outlandish, but the rest of the song is already pretty outlandish, so we
Right.
don't bat an eye.
My interpretation is that he is dancing around with some gang banging females that
Like
are
some,
very
like,
dangerous.
Squids and octopi? Or
Not
what?
not quite crocodiles, but alligators. Alligators to sharks.
Amphibians.
Sharks to teeth. Teeth to bad head. He's hanging out with girls that give bad head.
He's
Shark
clearly
pussy.
hanging out with
So-
some amphibians.
I like the idea that he can go wherever he wants to go and still get pussy.
Yeah, I respect.
He can go into the ocean and
Maybe
still
that's-
get pussy
that could
From
be
a shark.
from
Nonetheless.
a shark. Nonetheless, from another species.
That
He's
could
not
be what he's
specious.
alluding to.
Yeah.
He's not a specious, that's for sure.
That is
But
factual.
honestly, it's probably also Lil Wayne just saying whatever the fuck he wants and selling
Can you imagine
records anyway.
Can you imagine the whiteboard guy for Lil Wayne when he's coming up with his songs?
The whiteboard guy?
having
Following all of that.
having
His
to
fingers
draw
are
shark
bleeding.
pussy.
Yeah, his
Particularly
fingers are bleeding.
the shark pussy situation. That's
All
a
right.
hard one to follow.
New lyric. This one's pretty noticeable. Standing at my podium, I'm just trying to watch my sodium die. High blood pressure. Either let the feds catch you.
I know this one.
Oh no, this is gonna be a bad miss by me because I ate an edible. I can sing the song too,
No, you can't, you liar.
but I can't hear the voice. Kanye.
It's a Kanye song.
Jay-Z.
Jeezy is the artist who says
What?
that.
Okay.
Standing at my podium, I'm just trying to watch my sodium die. High blood pressure. Either let the feds catch you.
Wait, who's Jeezy?
Young Jeezy.
Young
Oh.
Jeezy.
However, the top
Akon and Young Jeezy.
the topic
Oh, he's been around. Okay.
is that
Trying
this
to make it easy.
still just doesn't make much sense.
go.
I like the sodium reference.
I think what he's saying here, though, right?
Read it one more
Standing
time.
at the podium, I'm trying to watch my sodium die. High blood pressure. Either let the feds catch it. So I think what he's saying is, I would rather die from eating badly and have high sodium than die in jail when the feds caught me.
Yeah.
It's my interpretation.
I think that's
I agree with
You think it's a literal sodium connotation though?
I mean, high sodium intake is associated with high blood pressure.
I feel like high sodium, high blood pressure has to be a metaphor.
I'm executing this line. I will die of high blood pressure before I let the feds catch me. Don't you all feel the same way?
I
feel
do-
like it's
yeah.
The feds
Yes,
have caught up
yes.
with me a couple times.
If I was in the situation where the feds were after me, probably yes. But
would-
I feel like that's metaphorical. It's
Yeah.
got to be.
All right, last one.
I can't go. I can't go any deeper on it. I
might-
agree with you. It's metaphorical.
I think I
don't know.
can. I think I could, but I'm not going to.
I'm not even going to ask the pad input here because this one's impossible. The quote is, "No more chicken sandwiches. Yes, I'll pay the damages."
Say it one more time.
No more chicken sandwiches. Yes, I'll pay the damages.
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, this
Pat,
is-
what's your guess on the
I
rapper?
couldn't tell you at all.
I bet this is a super deep cut.
It was your last artist guess.
Jay-Z.
Kid Cudi.
Damn.
No more chicken sandwiches. Yes.
From what song was it from?
Adventures.
Which is from what album? I don't even.
2015. It might not even made an album. No, it might not have made an album. It was like a project.
Okay.
But again, absolutely no meaning behind this statement.
I see no metaphors here.
And I've read all these lines in context in the lyrics. Nothing before or after alludes to this chicken sandwich damages content.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, rappers love sneaking in random shit that they think is just hilarious.
Yeah.
Rappers love having like one line, like not even half of a third of a verse, just like, what if I just toss this in here in this song?
And
goes
it'll still
viral?
do well. Yeah,
And then
it'll still do
you
well.
can have a chicken sandwich line in like one of the, just a banger on your album.
A Billboard top 10
Well,
talking
I don't-
about
I
chicken
don't think-
sandwiches.
Was that one a Billboard top? I
Top
don't think
20,
that
top
one.
30, top
This
40.
was
something. I feel like Cudi kind of fell off for a minute. And so,
He got older too.
yeah, he got older and he just kind of, and now he's an actor.
Man on the Moon 3
Oh,
was
that's
good.
true. He does act. Yeah, I feel like once you reach a level, you might as well just fucking sign off.
You
Day
just-
and night.
You get in
Wow.
such a
Man on the
rhythm.
Moon albums were absurd. They were
Yeah.
so good.
So good.
It was formative to my.
He just put out
to my
Man on the Moon
adolescence.
3
Yeah.
2 years ago. It was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
But there was a minute there where it was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Kid Cudi?
YouTube TV massively fucking up.
Oh my God, this is horrible.
Midcast.
That's
This
not
game
good.
is over though, right?
Yes,
the game's over.
the Heat just beat the Celtics in game 1 on the road.
Wow.
8.5 point underdog. Just beat them by like 6 points.
Damn.
YouTube
Huge.
TV froze for the last 40 minutes of the game.
Too many users.
And you're still paying like $70 a month for it
and
because
Twitter
it's stupid
is
as hell.
popping off on YouTube TV. They're getting
We're-
dragged.
Yeah.
We're dropping YouTube TV as a sponsor.
I
'cause
tried
of
to
this.
drop. I tried to drop it, and then I realized everything I watch is on YouTube. All the sports I
Yeah.
watch on it. I was fucked.
Yeah, there's no. Once you go the YouTube route, you don't go back.
You can't do it.
You're at their mercy.
It's
Yeah.
real tough. It's real tough to do.
Speaking, we've already highlighted South Park a lot. There's a episode where I don't know how recent it is, but they go to try to cancel their cable. They're like, can we just pay for the channels we pay for, like, want to watch? And like, he starts rubbing his nipples. Is like, yeah, sorry, it's a bundle, so we can't unbundle it. Okay, well, can we just cancel the whole thing? He like pulls these flaps down, and he pulls the flaps down so his nipple comes out. Yeah, let me get my manager. Manager comes over, pulls his nipples out. They start rubbing each other's nipples. Oh, you want to cancel? Yeah, it's gonna take about 8 weeks to get a driver there.
They nail it. They nail the South Park nails the commentary.
Oh my
on
God.
anything that's
South
happening.
Park, the best part about South Park is they like scaled it back, so they only do like what 5 to 8 episodes a year now. And
Yeah.
each one just summarizes like the past maybe 2-3 months, and they just pack in like 10 events
They're
all
so
into one
good.
theme.
They're
and
so good at it.
such
It's insane.
topical, awesome commentary, and like you don't have to agree with it all, like you guys were talking about earlier. You
Yeah.
don't have to agree with it, but
It's so
goddamn,
funny.
it's still funny.
It's
Like,
They,
funny
they,
as fuck.
they
So-
make fun of everyone, which
so-
is what allows them to get away with everything.
Yes.
I have a question as like a non-dedicated South Park viewer. I don't mind it one bit. I think it's funny. I think if you watch it, you really I
like
personally have never latched onto it. So to your comment, Pat, have they started recently releasing fewer episodes per season because they're trying to be more precise?
Is that
with their
true? I don't.
comedy?
I don't.
No, I'm not saying they're trying to be more precise with the comedy. I think they've wanted to scale back. It's like
I think it is
26
less.
or
It is less.
27,
It used to
but it's
be-
way less.
yeah.
They used to come out with like a season every like I
Well,
don't know,
so
4
they
months.
they famously have the documentary. It's like 6 days to air,
Yeah.
and so they have
Yeah.
a 6-day
'Cause you have
turnaround.
that day turn. Yeah.
Air, and they have to write a script, animate it,
It's
voice
all
act it,
live.
all in 6 days.
But-
And there was one time they missed it because the power went out in California, and they
Dude.
didn't have the power to work, so they missed an air date.
I heard that they would resubmit the scripts and the writing if it wasn't approved by the network, and they would resubmit it,
And have to, like,
and they would make it even
re-record it all?
worse. No,
Yeah.
they would.
Make it
So they're
worse.
writing the script. So it's like if the network thought it was too vulgar or whatever, too opinionated, they would rewrite it and double down on whatever the hell they were being vulgar about, because they knew that they had this short turnaround and that it was one of the most successful shows on the network.
Yep.
And they had an error. So they were like, we're going to keep making it worse until you approve the original
They
script.
had serious power, and then they finally utilized it. I think it was like season like 22. It was like right before maybe COVID, or like because I only started watching in college.
Yeah.
And all the seasons were very topical because
It's all
once you
current.
start watching,
Yeah.
it's timely. So then you
Oh,
keep
yeah.
watching. It's like the OG, like tune in at 8 p.m. for
Right.
your favorite show, right?
Yeah.
But like, dude, the best. Yeah, I feel like the episodes have gotten longer in length, so they're like an hour now, an hour special or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because they tend to deal with
They
They did
HBO
the
and Paramount.
They did the pandemic specials
Oh
too,
my God,
which
those
were
are so
outrageous.
good.
Yeah, they
but
were
like,
they were
dude,
really
they
good.
packed in 12 topics to an hour as opposed to like 2 in each episode plus the theme that runs throughout the season.
Right.
And I just think it's awesome. And like
The new episodes
they
have
hate
been
doing
good.
it. They've come out in public and said they hate doing it, but everyone just loves it
Well,
so
they're really-
much, and they're getting paid now.
They're so
like-
successful outside of
Yeah.
it with like the Book of Mormon. It's a
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's won so. What's the award for a musical? The Tony.
Tony.
It's won so many
Tony.
Tonys. It's been like traveling.
Have you
for
seen
years.
it?
No, I really want to see it. Everybody like people
I
that
saw
aren't
it
South Park.
once.
Is it awesome?
It is South Park.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw it in London when I was there for work, and I saw it, and I was sitting next to this older foreign European woman and like a 13-year-old next to me, and it was the most vulgar musical like Broadway production I've ever seen in my life. and I'm sitting there feeling so awkward because I'm next to this like old, like they probably walked out of the theater like, what the hell is happening?
Really?
It's South Park.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
it's literally
they-
it's so good. It's
They thought it
amazing.
was a theater show.
Yeah.
And they did not realize that they were getting South Park live.
They were
Right,
getting South
right.
Parked aggressively. It was tough,
They were Timmy in this situation.
but I loved it. I loved it. It was great.
Hell yeah. All right.
I got to close out comments, as we always do with our guest. We're gonna put Joey on the spot here. A couple questions for you.
Okay.
If you had to choose one of these countries to live in, city and country, would you rather live in Buenos Aires, Argentina,
That's a
or
good pronunciation.
Manila in the Philippines?
Argentina, easy. Buenos Aires. I used to speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish as much anymore, but I can still read it and understand it pretty well. If I got back into the mix, I feel like I could make a life for myself in Buenos Aires.
The Nazis did it. You can do it.
Is Buenos Aires Spanish or is it,
It is.
Portuguese?
It is Spanish.
Spanish.
I
Brazil
looked
is
it up.
Portuguese. Yeah. And I have a coworker
Oh,
named Lola that is from Argentina. And
Good
she's a
idea.
gem. So
Friend of the pod, Lola.
friend of the pod, Lola. I imagine there's also a lot of other cool people in Argentina. So I would do that for sure.
Okay, we got Buenos Aires. So, would you rather be the world's greatest Apex player or be an average player on tour like Matt Kuchar's caddy?
Well, the caddy or the player?
The caddy.
Wow. This is an incredibly tough one.
Oh, that's what we're here for.
This is an incredibly tough one because I pride myself in my video game skills, and it would be super cool to make a career out of playing video games. But within recent years, I've gotten very addicted to golf as well.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
Don't we all?
I think golf makes you more money, and I think the golf lifestyle is pretty sweet. So I'm going to have to go to average tour player.
Average tour player, Kuchar caddy.
Kuchar,
like it.
wait, well, if he's Kuchar's caddy, is he on tour?
He's on tour. I'm just trying to think
As
of
a
like
caddy?
like Kuchar's
Because
like
Matt Kuchar's caddy
Makes
no, no, no.
bread.
yeah, like he's like upper echelon of mid tier. He's just old. I was trying to think of like
If he makes some cuts here and there, I'm choosing tour life. I think
life.
over Apex life. I would much rather be outside on beautiful courses, flying PJs, making money playing golf than sitting in my
Yeah, but you're
room.
not playing golf. You're caddying.
Yeah, but in your downtime, you can also become
Well, you
the
can play
best Apex
golf,
player
but
ever.
dude,
ever
also,
anyways.
you have to travel so much. Like that lifestyle's intense, bro. Like Apex, you can just.
It's a tough decision.
You're still gonna have to grind at Apex as well, but like,
Average player on tour's caddy.
yeah, that sounds like a lot of traveling.
I don't know if
Good
the
driver.
caddy life is worth it. I thought I was the player in this
Well,
situation.
the player's 100% worth it.
Player easy.
no, it's caddy. So like world's greatest Apex player or average
All right,
player.
world's greatest Apex player.
Okay.
Because I could make millions streaming, and I
True.
could never play in a competitive competition or worry about winning a competitive competition. And because I was so good, I'd be able to just make a shit ton of money just playing games.
content. And,
Yeah.
games. Yeah. I like
All right.
that.
If you think that one was hard, I think this one.
Oh fuck.
I'm either on point or I'm way off. I think this might be a little tougher.
Okay.
So, every time any new video game comes out, you get it day one for free, or every single time any new system comes out, you get it day one for free. Oh, I got
Like video game system.
any system or any game.
PS5.
So, like
Series
in one
X.
sense, you get every single game.
I'm going system pretty easy.
See, games are more consistent, but systems are more important.
I would go system. Games are known to kind of suck ass when they drop recently because there's so many bugs and things, and so I'd basically be like a beta test player for them.
Beta Logan.
Consoles are hard to get.
Yeah.
There was a PS5 shortage for like several years before they became readily
Series
available.
X, man.
So
Me and Carter had to go through some hoops to get ours.
Yeah.
We had to
I
fucking
became
game
the official PS5 purchaser in my
Really?
friend group
Yeah.
because I had all the Twitter notifications set up and all
push
that
you,
shit. So
yeah.
consoles are pretty easy situation there.
You got to get where I was coming from in the fact.
No, it's
like,
tough. Like to be able to play a game first. The one of the big things why I don't say that is because I buy games now, and I have no time to play them.
Right.
And like part of that is
True.
because of the other games I'm playing. But I just spend money on games. I play them for a few hours, and then I never touch them again. And so that would be my fear in that situation. Like it's something that I already kind of do, and it doesn't pay off very well.
Not to mention, yeah, like you said, Yaza, I remember certain people struggling to get a new Xbox like 4 months after it dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was impossible.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I think it's still you can't get a
That
PS5
finally,
today.
finally, PS5s are supposed to be readily available.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, 3 years.
3 years later.
Literally 3 years. How
Yeah.
crazy
Crazy.
is that? The pandemic just gaming industry.
The chip,
bang.
the chip shortage, it fucked, and then scalpers ruined it for
I
everyone.
mean, just
Yeah.
like they do shoe drops.
They ruin
hate 'em.
everything. They ruin everything.
Going to a ball game and catching a scalper that's actually like, yo,
Ticket
5 minutes to
scalper.
game
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Those guys are good, but
Absolutely.
online schemers like Yaza and RuneScape, fuck them.
I'm around. Check me out.
Yeah, he's about to kill me in the wildy and take all my shit.
That was a move. I did get murdered by somebody one time trying to do that.
It happens.
Happens. Cool. Should we wrap?
Wrap us up.
Yeah, I got nothing much to say. Thanks for making it on short notice, dude. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Of
I
course.
got a lot of thanks to
Pat, thanks for jumping in a little bit.
Joey McHugh, to Pat for producing and jumping in double time. He's been running the YouTube TV screens. Right at this time, we got the Cubs, sadly, just got beat by Houston at Houston 7-6.
Hate to hear it.
Celtics just lost game 1 of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. And no hockey on tonight. That's the sports recap.
Cool.
Close
Pete,
us out, Yaza.
I got nothing. Peace out, boys.
I jumped it.
Love you guys.
Peace.